Electric!
G-Light! What's up?
What's up, bro? We're back. How's it going?
We're back as always on a weekly basis.
Right.
Sometimes multiple times in a week. But yeah,
And we're pivoting
um,
again, this time to WWE
we're
because we
pivoting
are a big
again
fan.
into murkier waters, as I'd
Yeah,
like to call
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because Electric is like the biggest WWE fan I ever know. Okay, you're the second biggest WWE fan that I've ever come
Yeah. I'd like to address myself as the second biggest WWE fan that I know. Because I know someone bigger and we've got him for the podcast.
Of
I'd like
course,
to
he's our
introduce our
correspondent because we're
wrestling
rich as fuck.
correspondent,
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. What was it? Wick with a
Wick
W.
W
Am
for
I
wrestling.
right?
Are you there, Mr. Correspondent?
Mr. Wick, are you here?
Yep, I'm right here, guys. I'm right.
All right, please introduce yourself to the public.
Hey, guys, I'm Vic. I'm gonna be your wrestling correspondent, like G Light and Electric
From
called
now
me
on,
for this.
depending on whether he does a
Yep,
great job or not.
exactly. My job's on the line,
Right.
and yeah, Survivor Series is around the corner, so we said, why not? Let's have a podcast about it.
Lovely,
And
lovely.
why is this Survivor Series special, Mr. Wick?
I think it's the Undertaker farewell. I don't think so. It's special for the brand warfare because that's crap. It's the Undertaker's farewell and 30 years
So
into
as in
the
as in
wrestling
brand
business.
warfare, you mean like that Raw versus SmackDown crap, right? That like red
Yeah,
versus blue. It happens every year, but then they forget about it. That right?
yeah, red versus blue versus yellow.
So you're
It's
saying
very
this is going to be
confusing.
the Undertaker's final farewell?
I hope so. I really hope so. I don't think
Didn't
so.
he
He's
didn't
gonna go
he
like Terry
retire?
Funk.
Didn't he
I think he's
retire
retired
a
more
couple of
times than
years ago
like,
as well?
yeah. He's retired more times
I think
than
it was more of a verbal retirement. Like he just said he's not gonna do it. But I think this probably might be his last appearance. I hope so. But let's see. He had a great
I
career,
mean,
so why not?
I hope it sticks because how old is he, man? How old is he? He's been doing this for fucking ever.
he's
It's been like what
55
30
years
years
old.
now.
Yeah,
55 years.
yeah. He's pretty old.
Man,
He's pretty
I
old.
don't. I probably couldn't even do what he does now, like in my age. Like, fuck,
Yeah, me
imagine when
neither.
I'm
No
55,
man.
dude. Certainly not gonna be
Yeah.
jumping around in the ring. But
Okay,
yeah,
so why
man. I
don't we
mean,
start
but
by, before we dive into the Undertaker farewell and the Survivor Series that's upcoming.
yeah.
So why don't you introduce the world to how you Electric started following WWE? I, for a fact, actually, there's a friend of mine from school who was a huge John Cena fan back in the day, and we were kids, of course, at the time. But we used to play the game on the Xbox a lot, and I remember watching wrestling until 2015, until the Shield was formed, and they went up against the Authority, and the new characters came in and new storylines came in. But how did you get into wrestling, and how did Wick get into wrestling, and
so
how long have both of you been
so for me,
dissecting this?
yeah. So for me, like my father was always the biggest wrestling fan. Like, cause while I was like maybe like 3 or 4 years
Oh, really?
old,
Your father got you into it, yeah?
yeah, he always used to watch wrestling. Whenever he used to come home
Lovely.
at night, there always used to be like fucking
Right.
wrestling on TV. So that's initially how I got into it. But that was the time of Stone Cold and The Rock and whatnot. And I
Oh,
was
yeah.
fairly young at that point in time, so I didn't really understand the wrestling landscape as much as I did, and I thought it was real at that point in time. But yeah, I mean, as I grew older, I don't know, that thirst for violence that Indians have just pivoted me towards loving wrestling. And funny story, Wick with the W is actually my schoolmate, and we used to watch wrestling together back when we were kids.
Yeah, that's
So
how I started it. Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
So the
Like
time
no,
of
no, but
Stone Cold Steve Austin is when there was Sweet Chin Music and Triple H and Shawn Michaels had the DX
yeah.
going.
That was Shawn Michaels' finisher, the sweet chin music.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
amount
I
of
know.
times I would have given that to like people in my school, like
So
at least tried.
where do you rate Sweet Chin as like all-time finishing move? Like, do you think it's one of the best?
At that point of time, definitely. But now I feel like it's just a move that everyone just does, and it has no
Right,
effect whatsoever. I
right.
feel like I've seen people get hit with the sweet chin music and then get up like instantly. Am I right, Vic?
Yep, happens way too often now.
Right, right.
It's equivalent to a punch now. It's really bad.
Yeah,
So
it's
you're
it's
saying
it's
that
called a
at the
super
time it
kick.
was ahead of its time, like when it was.
Way ahead, man. I think people
It
used
was
to pop when he used to kick. It was really good back then. But I think
yeah.
over the years they just especially in the indies, they performed it so much. In one match you used to see like 15, 20, 30. It just became exhausting after one point, and then it kind of transitioned from indies to the WWE and other bigger promotions, and even they
So
started using it on a
let
daily
me just
basis.
explain to the general fans that are out there. The indies are
Yeah,
basically other
yeah,
smaller wrestling companies that are not WWE.
Not
That
WWE.
so WWE as a big industrial corporation, tends to a much larger audience, and they rely on more storytelling in their product, whereas these little wrestling companies rely much more on the actual wrestling abilities. So what I've noticed over the years is that the matches are a lot better on the indie scene, so to speak. But WWE does have a couple of gems here and there. Like for example,
Are they more
Undertaker
gruesome
versus
as
Shawn
well?
Michaels or some other. Oh yeah,
Are
yeah,
they?
yeah. There's a lot of
Yeah, I
because
thought so.
WWE doesn't have blood anymore. Like you remember when we were growing up and stuff, there used to be like a lot of bleeding. There used to be like a
right,
lot of chair shots on the head and whatnot. And now it's become a much more safer environment.
yeah.
Um, it seems very tame. Whereas these other wrestling indie promotions, they're just all out, bro. They're like fucking barbarians. They'll kill each other for that. And the best part is they barely get paid for it. They literally go, they kill people, and they don't get paid for it.
On top of what Electric said, like the problem with indies is they're just focused on the technical skill and gore. They don't really care about storylines that much. Sure, there are some that have good storylines, but overall you can just watch it like you're watching a video game, like a gameplay kind of thing. It's just wrestling, wrestling, wrestling. It has no end to it. That's where the chants even come, like Fight Forever and other those indie chants like One Fall. I'm pretty sure you must have heard it in the recent times. All these chants
Yeah, yeah,
came
I
from the
have.
indie sides. It's way too annoying at times, but I get where they're coming from. But that's the reason they're not mainstream for a reason, and that's the reason that they don't have storylines in it.
Hmm. But that's the thing, right? They try to separate their products so much that then it becomes like a completely different thing. That's why WWE, in a nutshell, what they're trying to do these days is they're trying to distance themselves from even the word wrestling. They don't even call it wrestling anymore. They call WWE sports entertainment
Right?
because
They
it's
call
it's
their
it's
their wrestlers what, superstars, right? They don't call them
yeah, yeah,
wrestlers anymore.
superstars. They're not professional wrestlers. So that's why. And it's just how they're portraying their product and what and all that stuff. It's people are even gone down the lane of saying that WWE is not even wrestling and stuff.
It's
Well,
scripted, it's
from a
fake,
business
stuff
point of
like
view,
that.
I understand it, Like, I mean, just to chime in here. I mean, I feel that, like, because if you look at it from an entertainment perspective, like, you already have UFC, which is like the sport, right? I mean, and is considered like as a mainstream sort of thing that's practiced like an art, like, MMA in that sense. But if you look at it from WWE, that's what they always wanted to do, right? Like they wanted to make storylines because they understand that all sports, including a game like football, is entertainment. And we discussed this in the F1 podcast, how things like motor racing or mountaineering, being blood sports, are true sports fundamentally. And then there was an element of entertainment that came into almost every sport, and it depends on the skill level actually. Like, even if you look at it from a technical legal perspective, if you've got 80% skill, that's what is a sport. And then if it's 80% skill and 20% luck, you can consider it a game if it's more than 20%. So they've been trying to make poker a sport so that it doesn't consider being gambling, which is the same thing that they're trying to do in having to stay away from the term wrestling, because they probably want to focus more on the entertainment aspect of things from a financial feasibility perspective. But that's just my sort of objective take without the emotional aspect of being a fan who wants to see certain things, you know?
But see, the thing is, the beauty of sports is the long term storytelling that that it just comes out of. Like for example, like Manchester United and Liverpool, the rivalry and
Yeah, but
whatnot.
that is, we don't know how scripted that may or may not be. That's why,
No.
allegations of
Of course,
fixing are so
that's
great.
not scripted.
Yeah,
But
but WWE
WWE,
doesn't shy
that's the
away
thing.
from
That's their
saying that it's
job.
scripted, right? And we don't
I
mind it.
mean,
The fans don't mind it,
they
because they're
actually
there
they
for the
don't have a
entertainment.
choice in this day and age because of the legal
Right,
implications of it.
right.
So it's a little bit of a weird, I don't know. It's like an anomaly kind of a business. I mean, it's not a sport, but it is. It's a TV show, but it's not. So it's kind of like right down the middle. It's a little bit weird. The whole sports
Yeah,
entertainment
it's also
industry
smart at the
in
same
in
time.
general. it's smart, but like if you dig deep into the business, the actual business of WWE and whatnot, like all these wrestlers are contractors. They're not actual
Employees.
employees of theirs.
Right,
So
right.
so basically, I don't correct me if I'm wrong, Vic. They don't cover health insurance or whatnot, right?
No, they don't. They don't support
Yeah, yeah.
unionization. They don't really cover all of those things. So basically, a wrestler, when they do get
It's like
injured,
Uber, man.
they
When
have to,
drivers are contractors.
right,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
have
but
to
Uber
pay out
drivers are
from
not
their own
fighting each
pocket.
other.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
They've
not
got
gonna
less of
go
an
and hit each other
occupational
with a
hazard.
steel
The
chair. That's
People
Uber
not
cover
drivers,
their
happening.
they're not
employee
punching
benefits, for
each other in
example.
the mouth.
Right.
But anyway,
So
anyway, let's not
basically,
let's
when
not
you
dig too deep into the technicalities of it. Let's so
I'm sorry, I just
Ishan,
had to tickle that nerve.
yeah, of
I had to
course, the
address.
controversy has to stem when you're on the podcast.
yeah,
But who's your favorite wrestler?
whom are you asking this?
I'm asking. I mean, okay, Vic, you go ahead first.
Yeah, 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 sure.
I think the past decade, I think it's gonna be AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. Definitely two of the best out there. Be it in story, wrestling, anything.
The indie darlings, so to speak.
Yeah, so to speak, or Mr. ROH and Mr. TNA overall. But okay, if
Can
I
you
have
can
to
you
pick,
can you define ROH for our Indian users?
oh,
Yes.
it's Ring of Honor. Yeah,
And what
not
he's all
not many
about.
people watch it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta
You
get
gotta
down to
describe it, man.
basics.
Your
Like
own
you gotta
voice.
yeah, you
Right.
gotta
For
you
anyone
gotta
who doesn't know what ROH is, it's a wrestling company called Ring of Honor. It's been there since the early 2000s. And yeah, so you see guys like Joe, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, they all, Seth Rollins, all of them came from there.
So isn't Roman Reigns' actual name Joe?
Yeah, Joe Anuaki, I think. Yeah, I think that's his
Yeah.
name.
Are you
Yeah,
saying are
but
you saying Roman Reigns is from Ring of Honor?
I never said that.
You
Don't
said
twist my
Joe's from
words.
Ring of Honor. Which Joe are you talking
I
about?
meant Samoa Joe. I
You
meant
gotta say
Samoa
that,
Joe, not
man. You
that.
gotta say
I'm
that.
pretty sure not every Indian wrestler
Imagine how
knows.
much of our users you're confusing.
No, but
I
I'm
can
pretty
hear the
sure when I
fans
say
going away.
Joe, but the thing is, people really don't know Roman Reigns' real name is Joe. They call them Raman Reigns. They call them Roman Reigns, Regina. Like
Dude,
just go to the YouTube section. You'll find out what they
I've
actually spell
genuinely
Roman
heard
out.
G-Light, I've genuinely heard people be like, "Yeah, Raman Rain, yeah, Raman Rain."
Yeah, yeah.
Man, but you
Seen
gotta
it, seen it
understand
too
there is that
often.
audience too. There is that audience.
Yeah,
No, dude, that is actually, India is WWE's largest viewership,
Man, there's this
like
semi-shady.
demographic.
Okay, it's not shady, but there is this not so fancy, so what do you call it, like barber shop that I go to here at King Circle where I live in Five Gardens, right? Like where I used to live,
Yeah.
basically. And he gives you
Now
these
you're in an
Indian,
undisclosed location, right?
quintessential Indian massages with like a vibrator in his hand, right? That guy's watching WWE all the time, man. He's the guy who pronounces it the way you're talking about. And like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
on
and the
all
thing
the
is, the thing
time.
is, these guys still think it's
I basically
WWF.
catch
They
up with
have
my
no
Sunday
idea
massage
about it.
every week,
yeah.
sorry, yeah.
They're
Yeah,
Go
still
ahead.
under
it's
the
just,
whole WWF image. They haven't completely gotten out of it.
dude, people still call it WWF. Like that lawsuit with WWE versus WWF, for the name rights happened like
Right.
in the early 2000s, or probably even earlier than that. And they've, it's been WWE ever since. But over here, people still think it's like WWF, and it's crazy. And these people actually they watch WWE like on a pretty consistent basis. I feel like Indians love watching violence. They love watching people beating each other up because in case, like, I'll tell you, social experiment, yeah. If G-Light and me were to just like start slapping each other on the middle of the road, there would be a crowd of at least 30 to 50 people that would just stop whatever the fuck they're doing, and they would just form a mob around us.
Yeah. They'll watch you. They'll
Like,
record you.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just violence. It's just violence, and they'll be like, "Hey!" They had no idea why we're hitting each other, but they'll be like, "Hey!" They'll start doing side bets and whatnot, man. It's crazy. But that's how the wrestling, the wrestling kind of phase, or the wrestling, I don't know what the for wrestling, the fandom is in India. It's weird. It's WWE's biggest customer base, sorry, viewer base. But then again, WWE gets like maybe like the least amount of money from India in general, as compared to like other European countries and whatnot, because we don't subscribe to the network. We don't buy merchandise. We literally just watch it on TV. We don't buy pay-per-view. So it's a little bit of a weird relationship, but it's something that they still have to maintain.
Actually, you're not entirely right on that. So the thing is, they do have a huge deal with Sony, which is actually the
Hmm.
partners, who are actually
Yeah.
putting the weekly shows. And on top of merchandise, they have a lot of merchandise in India. There are a couple of stores. Okay, I'll just name
But
one. I think
that's
there's
not
Soul
that's not.
Store.
See, they've got deals with other companies.
Yeah,
I remember when I was growing up. There's this company called Ginny and Johnny, the kids
yeah,
brand.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
remember I bought like a Steve Austin T-shirt from there. It was so cool. Fucking loved it,
yeah.
and like a John Cena T-shirt from there.
I had
Back
a
when
rock
John
one
Cena
when
was
I
the
was
shit.
like 7. I had a rock one.
Yeah. So they have a lot of collaborations with a lot of smaller brands, but as like I've got okay, so I've bought maybe like 2 T-shirts from actual WWE from their shop, and
Right?
they've been fucking expensive, and the quality's been quite shit. I
Yeah,
bought one of those James Ellsworth
yeah. I
T-shirts,
understand.
and I
What?
bought the
Why?
yeah because his face is so funny.
Why?
It's
Oh
just
my
got
god.
his face on it.
That
It just
chinless
he
guy.
has
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
it's just when I walk through anywhere, it's just people are just looking
Yeah.
at
Right.
me and I'm like, what the fuck is on your T-shirt, man? Like, are you serious? And obviously, I have that NWO T-shirt because
Yeah, the
I
end.
love
Oh,
that.
that's too sweet. That's too sweet.
Yeah, that one's my favorite. But back to what I was getting to,
Yeah.
people don't buy like I know very few people, like even from my friends, maybe 1 or 2 people would have bought stuff from the WWE shop because it cost me like $50 to get the fucking T-shirt, like shipped here and shit.
Shipped and
And
yeah.
it's not even worth like fucking 500 rupees, dude. That T-shirt,
Yeah,
to
it's
be
not.
very
It's
honest,
not.
it's fucking some cheap Rexine they've used in that. Like it looks like someone will be selling that outside Kolaba station, but
Yeah.
it's just for the
I
feel.
think the original price is
Um,
nothing more than $10, if I'm not wrong.
it's not
Even in
it's
the
not 10. I think
US,
it's
it's
about
not.
1999 if I'm not wrong.
No, I think
Uh,
after pay-per-views they give some discount. They have those promotional ads like buy two tees free. Might be too technical. I mean, I've seen this during
maybe I'm not.
pay-per-view.
But anyway, the point that I was getting at is, despite having this massive customer base, this massive viewership over here, they don't extract that much money out of it because like I when I was studying in Australia, I had the network. I had the WWE network because it was useful over there because I didn't have fucking cable. And even if you did have cable in Australia, they would not show you pay-per-views. Survivor Series and stuff is not going to be on TV.
Right.
Over here, so that I remember I used to pay $9.99 for that for the network, $10, which is about $700 a month, right? Over here, firstly, it comes on TV, so I don't need to buy anything additional. And secondly, if you want, you can buy that Sony Live thing, which is for like what, $200, $300 a month, which is
Yeah.
dirt cheap. If you buy the yearly plan, it comes to about $100 a month, like, and you get basically everything. Whatever the fuck WWE has to offer in that. I'm like, why would you even need to buy anything else? So, they're in quite a dilemma about how to extract money from India in general, but they still try to appeal, keep trying to appeal to the Indian
Yo,
audience.
I don't know about you all, man, but I'm surely gonna be fucking with those Snoop Dogg Undertaker merches for his fucking thing.
No, I'll definitely buy the
Like
Undertaker merch just for the
that shit
nostalgia
is totally
factor.
worth it, man. Like, what are you saying? Like,
Yeah, of
he's
course,
wearing
because
Snoop
I mean,
Dogg
like, I
merch,
fucking
man.
love the
No shit.
Undertaker. But that's what I'm saying. We're the few people that would actually spend that much money on that kind of shit. It's like it otherwise it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So how do we feel about
Yeah.
Undertaker's farewell? We started talking about that, and yeah, basically we introduced ourselves then. But I'm saying that, how do we feel about it? Like, do you think that it's another ruse? Do you think he'll just come back from the dead yet again, or
I
is
think
it
I
for
think
real
if he
this time?
sticks around for any longer, he will be dead in that ring. So I think now is the right time to say goodbye. Because I mean, what more
It's a
can you
crazy
do, man? Like
storyline, man. It's a crazy storyline. Before Roman Reigns, he was always my favorite. Like I would look forward. I will never forget that sort of that WrestleMania where he first introduced the fire entrance, like when he changed his entrance. You remember? Like I think
that
this was
was
after
I think that was when he
That
went
was
from American
20.
Badass to
Yeah, he returned his original gimmick.
when
yeah,
he
yeah,
got after he got buried alive.
yes, exactly. And then he had the fire entrance instead of the blue lights, which he always does. Like, and that was crazy, man. Like, yeah, the bell tolling. I'll never forget that. So I used to watch wrestling only to be able to look forward to having to build up to that year where you knew that Undertaker's gonna come back. You just knew. So
Dude,
yeah,
there's been
high
very
value,
few moments
high
that I've
value.
actually that that I've actually I've actually like cried, like literally. And the Undertaker's streak getting broken at WrestleMania 30 was one of
Oh
them,
yes,
because
yes.
dude, I felt like my
Oh,
But
that
you
was
used to
so
watch it
childhood
for
bad.
the
just came
streak, as I said.
crashing down.
Yeah.
No, because at that point of time, look, when I was younger, I used to watch wrestling like religiously. I like this guy, like Vic is my witness because we used to watch it
Yeah,
together. And the thing is, we like every week we used to go to one of our friends' houses and we just used to watch wrestling. We used to watch WWE. We used to watch TNA, whatever the fuck else was going on. We used to watch it, and
yeah.
it was crazy. But then as you grew older, you didn't have enough time, and like okay, maybe I used to follow them on Instagram or whatnot or whatever the fuck was there at that point of time. So what used to happen was I used to just watch like the big pay-per-views, and not even like, like if it's like Payback or Backlash or any of the chota pay-per-views. Fuck that. I used to only watch like what the Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. WrestleMania was one thing that I never used to miss because I mean the Undertaker defending his streak. Because dude, I remember that was the time when I think Undertaker had those. I think a couple of years before he had Shawn Michaels the match with Shawn Michaels. I think it was WrestleMania. Which WrestleMania was it, Vic?
25, 26.
25 and 26. Yeah. So there were two matches. Like brilliant fucking matches, dude. It was crazy. And then he ended Shawn Michaels' career as well after that, which was crazy. And then Triple H he had that match with, and then I think there was a Hell in a Cell somewhere in the middle. And then I
Yeah.
think there were a couple of matches. I think that was like a good 5 or 6 year stretch, like from
So that
24
was
to
25, yeah, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I don't know if you're gonna count the one with CM Punk or not. And right after that, the streak was broken.
No, I can't. That was a brilliant match as well. I
Yeah,
remember
so
Paul
six
Heyman
years,
was,
6 years.
yeah. That
Yeah,
that 6 year period was probably the time when I was, I wasn't watching wrestling that religiously, but I was still, watching WrestleMania. That once a year event. And dude, I remember at WrestleMania 30 when that fucking, like when Undertaker, like, I mean, he looked beaten and he looked, completely out of it. And honestly, that was the only time where, my childhood hero looked like a shriveled old man that had nothing left in him. And I've never seen him like that. And honestly, like after he got pinned, I was just in shock, man. I was just like, oh my God, how is that? Like, I never thought I'd see the day. But what about you, Vic? What do you feel about the Undertaker in the last couple of years?
uh, the last couple of years it hasn't been the best for Taker.
Let's say last maybe 10 years since we were growing up, man. Like the last 10 years of what
Yeah,
we
so
saw
the
him,
last
in,
10
in his
years
prime.
which we saw, I think the Shawn Michael matches were amazing. The Triple H matches, the last two ones, were as good as the one at 19 or 17. I'm not sure. I think 17. That was also brilliant. But I think the
Mm-hmm.
whole downfall came when he got concussion during the 30th match at WrestleMania, the WrestleMania
Yeah,
30
yeah,
match.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I saw in that new documentary, the last ride,
yeah,
that he doesn't remember that match at all because he got knocked out
yeah.
during that match.
And the
Um,
match was never supposed to end on that tone. But the thing was, they had informed the referee that if Taker is not moving, you're gonna count till three. You're not gonna stop the count. And Taker got
dude, but that's
concussed.
crazy. Are
He
you
didn't.
are you insinuating that the streak was not supposed to end that night?
See, it came from the Undertaker. If you have watched that same Last Ride documentary series, there are 5 parts to it, right? So in the
No,
end,
I've only
eventually, he
I've
did
only seen
mention
part
that.
one. I've only seen part one,
So
and
further down the line, he did mention that he didn't want someone like Brock to break the streak. He wants someone upcoming. But the thing was, the streak being broken was not in his hands at that point. At that point, his body couldn't give up, and he's
But
performing in front of
like, it
70K
was
people.
Brock's time, Like
It was, yeah.
Brock tried before as
yeah,
well.
but then again, in
No,
wrestling terms, there's something called like a rub. Okay, a rub is basically like a person like the Undertaker, like a
yeah,
person who's established and who's old, who's not got that much left in him anymore.
Right.
He will lose to an up and comer to
yeah,
establish that person's status as
right,
the
Yeah, yeah,
next
yeah.
big
His
thing.
legacy.
For
Yeah.
someone like Brock Lesnar,
right.
he did not
It
need that.
it was not
Everybody knows how
required. It
badass
was
Brock
not
Yeah,
Lesnar is.
yeah, yeah,
required.
yeah, yeah, yeah. True, true.
See, the
So
thing with Brock Lesnar was,
that looked like a fucking killing. That looked like Brock
yeah,
Lesnar beat the fuck out of the Undertaker and killed him. Like that's how it looked.
and
So
And
honestly, if
that
you
was one of the
remember,
worst moments
Does
ever.
Brock Lesnar have a matchup for the upcoming Survivor Series?
He's not there. He's not
No,
there.
He's not
The
no,
there.
no.
Jesus
Sorry,
He
I've
is
not
only
been in
comes for
touch.
WrestleMania. He
I'll
only
watch
comes for
it out.
WrestleMania.
Huh?
Drew
He
kicked him
only
out
comes for
after
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Right. He only comes for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Bro. But there has been one person who has murdered Brock Lesnar in recent times. This guy called Drew McIntyre. Like, oh my
Oh,
god.
Yeah.
I know who he is. He was there even
No,
when.
you probably know him from the old days.
Yeah,
From
from the
probably
old days.
2006 or 7 when he was
Yeah.
there, this
I
scrawny
don't know what
Scottish
that storyline has turned into anymore.
dude. He has become an absolute beast. Like he is
Okay.
massive, bro. He looks like two Drew McIntyres like put together now. He's that big,
Is he
and
contending for the
he
WWE
Yeah. He's
championship?
jacked, man.
he's
He's
the
jacked.
champion.
He's the champion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna face
He's one
Roman
of
this
the
Sunday.
other champion is Roman Reigns.
The other is Roman Reigns. That's what I was wondering.
The Money in
so
the Bank
Roman
contract
Reigns,
holder is Miz. Like, I don't know. Like,
bro. I don't think anything is
so
gonna happen
uneven.
with that. I think he's going to try to cash in on Roman
Oh, the
Reigns, and Roman Reigns
Miz.
is gonna beat him up.
He's the Money in the Bank contract holder.
Balls, no.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, you should have
Again.
seen who was holding the Money in the Bank contract before.
Before
So
Miz,
Miz won it in a
yeah.
match. There was a fat tubby guy, like this guy who looks
Yeah.
like a ball.
He's new.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But anyway, coming back to it, I was just saying initially that, like, look, the Undertaker, I feel like they really dropped the ball on him. In the last couple of years, I feel like, okay, chalo, the streak to ended that way. Now you couldn't do anything, whether that was down to his concussion or not remains to be seen. But what I'm thinking is that, like, okay, I believe he did get redemption that very year against Brock Lesnar in a Hell in a Cell match or something. Later
Yeah,
on,
he
I
did.
think it was
He did.
at some other big pay-per-view. So he did beat Brock
I think
Lesnar
it was
after that.
SummerSlam. I don't know. Yeah.
But he beat him controversially, apparently, that Brock Lesnar didn't tap, but the referee said he tapped or something. I don't know. Or the Undertaker tapped and the referee didn't see it.
No. So
But
basically, yeah. That was the thing. Was he was like the Undertaker tapped behind Brock's back, and the referee was not looking at that direction. Brock left. Like, he released him from the hole, knowing that he tapped. Then he low blowed. This whole thing was a mess. I think this was just to cover up the whole WrestleMania.
I mean, see, they couldn't have him beat Brock Lesnar clean after him like battering him at WrestleMania. I mean, that wouldn't make any sense. But they had to give him some sort of redemption, like the little redemption that he had left. But ever since then, has he had any proper matches after that? I don't think. Like, he's only had like very short matches, right? At WrestleMania.
No, I think he and Kane faced the Wyatts at Survivor Series 5 years ago.
And that tag team fucking doesn't count, dude. Especially in WWE, that tag teams are so.
Yeah. So, he had that Hell in a Cell match with Shane McMahon. That was like for some 20 minutes.
Fuck yeah, I remember. Dude, Shane McMahon, every single WrestleMania match, he has to jump off something.
Yeah.
That's a given, no?
Yeah, he did that for quite some time, ever since he returned. I think I was 32, 33, 34, I guess, and 35.
I think if anyone is like, dude, I want to do something spectacular at WrestleMania, so they'll be like, I'll give you a match with Shane McMahon.
Yeah,
Just throw him off
he'll
something.
jump off from some place, and you guys will be memorized.
Dude, it's weird, dude. That guy seems to have like a death wish, Like, he's like, I would like to jump off this. I'd like to jump. I think he makes up for like the fact that he's the boss's son, and people think.
I don't think so. It's
he's
just
this...
that, dude. Vince at this age can jump off from 15 feet. So you think Shane's gonna fall behind? No, that's the most
that wasn't
obvious
15 feet. That was like 30 or 40 feet, right?
No. Vince did that this year. I'm not sure if you know this or not.
No, I don't know that.
So
when did
basically,
that happen?
So this was during the production thing, and this Rob Gronkowski, he showed up at WrestleMania 36 somewhere.
We're getting backstage backstage access. You're giving us backstage stories. Oh, how do you know it?
So basically, it's on the network. They were showing those
okay.
WrestleMania documentaries. So in one of those instances, there was a 20 feet drop, and Rob had to do that, and it was safe, but Rob was like very hesitant. Vince went up there. He didn't have to do that. Vince went up there, and in a blink of an eye, he just jumped 20 feet. A 75-year-old man jumping off like it's nothing. You should just go check it out.
To be very honest, for a 75-year-old man, he's still very jacked. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think he ever stopped using the
passion.
steroids.
He has the passion for wrestling. Okay, just that there are a lot of marks and indie guys these days who just hate on Vince for what he has done. I mean, if they were in Vince's place, they would have burned the place down in minutes. Like, building what Vince did in general, it's not an easy job. And I think a lot
No,
of
but
these fans
I feel like
underestimate.
it's gonna be a big problem for WWE once Vince McMahon finally does retire, because
Yeah,
who's next in line to take over? Is it his daughter? Is it his son? Is it the one with three H's?
yeah, I think it's gonna be either Hunter, but I don't think so. It's gonna be Hunter because it's gonna be Stephanie most likely, because Hunter's busy with NXT. He's not gonna jump. He's not gonna jump ship. It's mainly gonna be
Yeah.
Stephanie. Stephanie's gonna run the show. Hunter's gonna look over things as he's already doing that, because like if you watch NXT, it's a strong product. Like
But
you
just
can't.
explain to our viewers what NXT is, because maybe people don't
They
watch it.
don't know what NXT. Oh my god, they don't know what NXT
They're
is.
like, Vic is
Okay.
like, why are you even here, man? Why are you listening to me?
That's
Go
Yeah.
amazing.
watch fucking
No, we'll
NXT.
keep up the high standards, man. We're sorry.
Yeah.
Just please explain. It won't happen in the
Yeah,
next episode.
please explain what. Oh, Gila, do you know what
We're laying the
NXT is?
groundwork, you see.
Gila, do you know what NXT is?
Yeah, of course I do, man. Who's our boy? I forgot his name. Who's coming from there?
Wick with the W.
I'll
He's
tell
not
you.
talking about me.
Oh, okay. It's okay. Wick, just explain what NXT is to our viewers, please, for the people who don't know.
Alright. So NXT is basically like a developmental brand, but it has more of these indie guys, and the story and the wrestling is much stronger than what we watch on Raw and SmackDown. That's the
Are you insinuating that NXT might be better than
oh
Raw and
heck yeah,
SmackDown?
it is
Yeah.
much better.
Didn't even flinch while saying that.
No, but a lot of WWE stars have come from there, right?
Right. The problem is they came to the main roster, and that's where the entire thing got fucked for them. Like, go watch them in NXT. It's
Right.
really good.
Yeah, man. So the thing is, right? But in NXT, they give them a lot more leeway, because Triple H is the one who controls, like, who's basically the Vince McMahon of that. He's the one who. I mean, I'm not sure if he writes the show or not, but he produces the show. So he's got the last. What do you call it? Like, he makes all the decisions and whatnot. So there's very few people from. So there's very few people that have actually come from NXT to Raw and SmackDown and actually done well. Like
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre
Stayed
is one
relevant,
of those
basically.
names. But then again, he was in WWE before also, so it's kind of it's not the same. For someone like who else is one NXT person who came up and who's done
Kevin
great things?
Owens.
Kevin Owens. What does he do nowadays though? I haven't
Nowadays he's
seen him
not
in
doing anything,
forever.
but he was pretty relevant when he came, and for like a couple of years he was doing well. I think last year
Dude,
was really bad.
I remember the first time, that was my first exposure to NXT. I remember Cena's US Open challenge was on.
Yeah,
John Cena used to do that
yeah,
weekly basis where he used to
yeah.
for his
It
US
was
title.
good. It was good.
And then this guy just came and he's like, "I'm the NXT champion." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, even
what?
back then,
Where did this guy
even
come
I had
from?"
no idea about NXT. I think that was
I was like,
close to
"What the
my
fuck
first
is an
introduction.
NXT, dude?" I was like, I thought some TNA VNA ka banda came and all. I was like, "What invasion?" and all. And I saw this guy and he's like fat as fuck and he's doing swanton bombs and all. I was like, "Bro, like what the fuck?" And did he beat John Cena that night?
Yeah, he did.
He
Yeah, he
Man,
did,
did.
right? He
Clean,
did.
clean
That
as a
was
whistle.
that
Yeah.
was
Bray Wyatt came from
that was pretty
NXT,
cool.
like Sister Abigail came
Bro,
from
Bray
NXT.
Wyatt sucks cock, bro. He sucks
Bro, come
ass,
on, man. Like
honestly.
I really like Sister
Fuck
Abigail.
all. He's fuck all. Now he wears a mask just to hide his face, bro. Now he's fuck all. I hate him, dude. You can't make, like, for so long that he's just been like an irrelevant person, that he just sits on a wheelchair, is just like a creepy old, like redneck or whatnot. And now suddenly you're just like, oh, he's a monster, he's the fiend, he's like this. They give him a chick also, and like
Daniel Bryan.
it doesn't make sense.
Like,
Daniel Bryan was no, bro. That is a different NXT. That was a
okay.
game show.
Oh,
It
that
was
horrible game show. Oh my
no.
god.
So NXT started as a game show. They
Okay.
basically, it was like, they get a lot of indie wrestlers, make them do stupid like roadies like tasks, and whoever wins will get like a WWE contract. That for 2 seasons, and then nobody fucking watched it, so they just cancelled
No,
it. And then
it was
Triple
not
H
two
took
seasons.
that.
It was way more than that.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 4 seasons at least.
My God, clearly no one watched that, but I mean, I did for sure. But anyway, so I was saying that NXT, after that, Triple H took it and they were like, okay, let's just make it like a third brand, like a Chota brand, where we can, test out these new wrestlers that are coming and, put them in the WWE product and then put them up to the main roster. For them to accustom them to the WWE product, because when people are coming from the indie scene, it's a very different thing, because the WWE style of wrestling is, like I said before, is very tame. You need to get used to it. They're more focused on storytelling rather than hard hitting matches and whatnot. Not to say that they don't have hard hitting matches.
And the
But
promos,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, they do. These guys teach wrestlers how to do promos. They have like fucking acting school and all over there.
Yeah, they have scripts and they practice every week and they have to buy out their lines. It's really difficult. It's
Sounds
not
like
so easy to
Bollywood to
be
me,
like
bro.
that. No, I mean, at least like if someone dies, they're not gonna frame it to the entire industry. So that's completely different.
Yeah.
It's a
So
reality show
far,
that's not live, man.
controversy. That's what G Light likes, bro.
I love
But
it. I love it.
anyway,
I love it. The drama.
so G Light, I mean, of course, like always, we've strayed away from the topic. Why don't you tell us your best memories of The Undertaker?
My best memories of The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Man, so I already told you about, when he did the new entrance. Then you spoke about the streak getting over. Like, I honestly, like, I feel that, Brock Lesnar at the time, like, I had already started following Roman Reigns a lot because the Shield had come up and his streak got broken, right? And
Were you a fan of the Shield as soon as they debuted?
yeah. I loved, and I also loved that, like, they broke apart and stuff like that. Like, I of course hated it during the time when the Authority took over, and then they would always rip Roman Reigns off from like a deserved win, And for so long they fucked
Wait. So
around
you're
with it.
that? Are you telling me you're that one guy, that one dude who was actually rooting for Roman Reigns
Yeah, man. From
during
the
that
very
time?
start, man. Like from the very start, I think this man's gonna go
Vic,
places.
Vic, give us your opinion on Roman Reigns'
Man, so I
authority.
loved him for the Superman punch, all right. But like from storyline perspective as well, like
No.
his,
I'm not saying okay. You probably like his
see, I
moveset.
really like
His
the guy
moveset's
as
pretty
well.
cool.
He's
No.
Samoan,
See, I
right?
don't have anything against the guy. Okay.
Yeah.
The main issue that I had with Roman Reigns was I feel like they were just trying to manufacture another John Cena, like Zabardasti.
Yeah, I mean,
It
it's
was
similar in terms of the storylines, like in terms of how they build their legacy.
not just the storyline. Okay, okay, like him against the world or whatnot. Like him versus the organization and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then again, at the same time, if you remember when we were younger, when John Cena was that rapper dude, like
Yeah.
that was just like he used to come, he used to rap, he used to fucking be like Thug Life and whatnot. And then he became like everyone was rooting for him, and he became the champion and whatnot. And it was very organic rise. He beat that big ass heel JBL because everyone hated JBL, which was his job. It was his job to be hated. And then he became like a champion, and everyone was so happy. And then they made him into like a military guy.
They
so
sort of
weird.
made him like a puppet, right?
Yeah. He basically became the corporate guy, like
yeah. He became
whatever,
an example,
whatever
like
messages.
to aspire up to, like.
Yeah.
But
The kids need to
electric,
look up to him.
what is your problem with that? That's what I don't understand. What is the
It's
problem?
not my
with
problem.
that?
It's that.
Isn't that how every organization harnesses culture? Like, they have to make examples.
But
He
when
set
it came
his
to
own path to the top. Like,
when it
people
came
can
to
emulate
John
and
Cena,
replicate
that was still
path.
okay. That was still okay,
Right.
because people wanted him. Okay, to be
Correct.
people wanted him to succeed because they love that Thug Life thing. So it wasn't that much of a problem when they pivoted to the more kid friendly kind of thing. It was still fine. We still love John Cena. It was just maybe after year 5 of just having John Cena as the champion, like him, on and off being being in the title picture all the fucking time,
Right.
is when people started getting tired of him, and people would be like, "Fuck this! I don't want to see John Cena anymore. I am done." Kitna time tak you're going to see him wear those fucking 3/4 and fucking fight, and he's only got 5 moves as it is.
Yeah, the 5 movesets. Yeah.
The 5 moves of doom, they call.
And he's like like he tried to do what The Rock did, for example. You understand? Like, if you see, he's getting into
that's a different
cinema.
scene, bro. Do you know the story of The Rock?
Okay, enlighten us. Like even if I do,
No,
I,
wait, I'll tell you. We'll get to
yeah,
that. But
right.
at the same time,
No,
I tell
but
you
even if
that
you look at
what
Roman
what
Reigns,
they're
right?
trying to do
Like,
for
I mean, even
no,
he's
that's what
trying
I'm
to
getting
move
to.
down that path again. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Roman Reigns
So
carves out a
Roman Reigns,
career like
Kana,
The
is
Rock
that
or
they were
making an
trying to
icon for himself
manufacture.
outside of WWE storylines as well.
No, so Roman Reigns,
He
the thing
has
is
that in
that
him.
they
Right?
were
I
pushing him
like those
down
kind of
as the
guys.
guy,
What?
as the guy.
Come again?
So the thing about Roman Reigns is they were trying to make him the guy. Okay,
Right,
they put him in every single best position
right.
possible. They made him win the Royal Rumble. They made him the
Yeah.
champion. They made him beat Brock Lesnar. They made him beat the Undertaker. They did the authority angle. They made
That is
him
when I
beat
became
Triple
a
H and
Roman
that.
Reigns fan
And
during those triple fights that Brock Lesnar and he had, like, like three
but
back to
that's
back.
the thing, right? It's very manufactured. It's not organic. It's like WWE seriously just pointing at you, be like, this guy, he's the guy. He's our main dude now. You should love him. And
Yeah,
that's the
there
thing,
was a
that's
huge
why
problem with Roman's booking. That's what he's trying to. That's what even Electric's trying to
booking
point out.
essentially means his position within the company, like how he becomes the champion or
Yeah,
whatnot.
basically what they're
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to do with
yeah.
a particular superstar.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
is the
Vic,
problem
enlighten
Electric
us.
is
Yeah.
trying to shape. So basically, Electric is saying whatever they were trying to do with Roman, it just pointed towards one direction, and it was not organic.
So that's not
Like
something that
it was
certain fans
forced.
would appreciate, is what you're trying to say, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Not
then
exactly.
as
there would
much
That's
also
with
be a
John Cena
faction of
because John
fans,
Cena
like,
is very
the guy who got me into wrestling. Like, we could have gotten him on the podcast, but like, I know him from Aeon's past. Like, that guy would never go against John Cena even today. You understand? Like, that guy is a source of inspiration from him since then. So it's also them, like the organization, locking up on their legacy fans, right? Like, if you look at
the
it,
thing with John
but
Cena
then
was
again
much
that
different with Roman. Like John
okay,
yeah.
Cena was about
okay,
to get fired. Like his
But I'll tell
actual
you,
job was in danger.
these days, John Cena is also like not as much as now, but in the last like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, when John Cena was like around full time,
Hmm.
he was pretty hated, pretty disliked, like universally. Like people
Right.
didn't like him at all because
Yeah.
people were like tired of the young up and comers spot he was getting
Right.
because he was John Cena. Then people were
Yeah.
tired because people were like, "But you were a young up and comer who got that spot. Now you're stealing that spotlight from people who are coming and who will basically be in
And
your position soon enough."
I'm just gonna say, adding to what Electric said, people even hated the US title open challenge thingy that he had because every week he was defeating young upcomers, right? And people were not liking it. The whole
yeah, yeah,
point
I
was to
remember
build
watching
them,
that.
like get the rub with Cena, and he did that. He gave loads of guys a chance, like Cody Rhodes, Cesaro, Neville. Like you watch all these guys right now, they're really doing well. So what he did back then, actually, it was a long-term thing. He gave them the rub, and people at that time disliked it to another level. That's what even he's trying to say. Those corporate guys like Roman and Cena, who follow all the company rules, who have always been in the world title pictures, they are hated for this reason. But the reason they are the standard bearer is because they can actually do whatever it's been told to them. They're guys who are not good in mic skills. They're guys who don't have good wrestling skills. When you put them against guys like Roman and Cena, they get the rub. They become better. That's the whole point of having a standard company guy that you can go to. You can put them in any main event. You can put them in any opening card. Like these guys will work, and that's the kind of guys WWE always need. Be it The Rock in its early days, be it John Cena, be it Roman Reigns, these guys actually have a very good position in the company, and that's what the fans dislike about them.
It's like being spoon fed, man. It's like for the longest time, like the
So do
Roman
you think
Reigns
they're
was
not
pretty.
really as talented as some of them, or
No,
have not
this is
worked
not.
hard enough?
It's not a rule on Roman Reigns as a person or anything like that, or his abilities as a wrestler. Look, he's picked for a reason. He's blue chip. Okay, he's a good looking guy. He's big. He's got great moves. He can carry himself well, and he's a good person to be the poster boy of a company. Clearly, that's what they think. But the problem is when that happens organically, it's a different scene because when Roman Reigns was in the Shield, he was one of the most liked people in that. But the thing is, as soon as the Shield split, it was very clear to see who out of these three was going to be the main guy after that. Because Seth Rollins, I'll give you a very basic example. Seth Rollins split from the Shield, joined the Authority. He got his
Yeah,
own
yeah,
music.
joined the
Dean
authority.
Ambrose
Yeah.
went, got his own music. Roman Reigns
No, but
still
it could have been
was
Seth
using the
Rollins as
Shield
well,
music.
right? But he's just
Yeah.
not Roman Reigns. I mean, if
No,
you
no, no,
think
no,
about
no.
it
So
from that
listen
side.
now. So what I'm trying to tell you is that Roman Reigns, they still stuck with the Shield music because they wanted the fans to resonate the same feeling and the same, the same love that they had towards the Shield for Roman
Nostalgic
Reigns now.
element, basically.
Yeah, the same nostalgic element they wanted to associate that. And the thing is, why didn't they get rid of? Because all of them used to wear a vest that time. Dean Ambrose used to wear one. Seth Rollins used to wear one. But who was still wearing the vest later? It was Roman Reigns, because
Yeah.
they wanted you to associate the Shield as this guy is the Shield. He's the guy, you know. So that's the problem. But now, okay. So the thing is, his promos are very scripted. He got booed out of the building, bro. All his WrestleMania matches, he's gotten booed like I've never heard people boo, like 100,000 people boo in like unison
Yeah.
for one
That
person. I
was
feel bad
someone
for the
winning
guy.
the WWE Championship, not even losing. Like
Booed
winning.
out of the building, bro. Out of
Yeah.
the fucking
I think that
building.
was 32, WrestleMania 32.
It was
Yeah, it was
when he
32.
And
beat
that just makes
Triple
me
Triple
H.
like
H.
him
Yeah,
more,
that was
you know.
32.
That just makes me like him more.
No. I'll tell you. Now I love him because they have made him a bad guy. Now the thing is, he's embracing the boos. Now people don't want to boo because he's a fucking badass. Because the thing is,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. And he's been
Everybody.
booed before as well, man. Like, you know, like I
It's
mean,
not that. It's not that. Now what they're doing is, right. They are embracing the fact that he is the chosen one. He is the man who's in the position to lead the company.
Yeah.
He's the one who the authority is says is being has touted as the man.
Maybe not
And
on
he just
screen, but off screen for sure.
yeah, off screen. But the thing is, he's channeling into that personality, that persona of his, of why people don't like him, and he's being a truth about it. Which that's what I love
Yeah.
now. And he's so overbooked, bro. He's beaten everyone. Like no
Yeah.
wrestler is as on the power cards or whatever the fuck they calculated by. No wrestler is stronger than Roman Reigns, like has ever been, because he's beaten every single person,
Yeah, he's been
like
everywhere.
hands down. So
man,
anyway,
yeah, man.
uh,
I just said he's
another
going
thing.
places, man, in my opinion.
No, now he is. Now
Yeah,
definitely
he
he
is.
is.
He
Now
is.
because they fixed it, because they've gone down the Rock route with it. Because
Yeah,
I don't
the
know if you're
Nation of
aware.
Domination one. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened with The Rock was, initially he debuted as a guy called Rocky Maivia, who was this tribal smiley face, baby face kind of guy. Okay, who
Yeah.
was just like a happy-go-lucky guy, happy to be here, all that shit. Now the thing is, people didn't like that. People got tired. He was like a fucking cartoon. He's just happy. He's just like this. He's got a fuck all moveset.
As
And they
his
literally
his costume attire was bad. Like
like
it was
really
so
bad.
bad.
But it was
It
like
was
some
like a
fucking
ripoff of
weird
Ultimate
tribe.
Warrior thingy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like some tribal shit, like with like ribbons off it, his underwear and whatnot. Okay, so people really booed the shit out of The Rock initially. Okay, and he was not The Rock, he was Rocky Maivia, and they used to shout Rocky Sats. Okay,
Die
and then
Rocky
one
Die.
day,
That was the chant.
yeah, die Rocky die. They used to shout. Okay, and then one day he asked Vince McMahon if he could just go out there and speak his mind. Okay, dude, he literally, I don't, you guys can probably go watch the promo or whatever. I don't know what exactly, but that just type like the promo that changed Rock's career or whatever.
That was the Nation
Where,
of Domination induction one, right?
yeah. He
That was the one
basically
you're talking
became,
about.
yeah, he became the bad guy, and he basically started like like yelling at the crowd, like basically talking back to the crowd that the Rock is a lot of things. No, he said, I'm a lot of things, but sucks is definitely not one of them.
Yeah.
And then he started addressing himself as like a third person, as The Rock instead of Rocky. And that was the time where he became The Rock. So he
Yeah.
started off as a bad guy, but then people got into that trend. They wanted to support the anti-hero and whatnot. And that's how the fucking The Rock came. That's how he became, the people's champion and whatnot. So it's, Roman Reigns has similar shit, because first of all, though, he's The Rock's cousin. Yeah, I don't think you knew that.
Yeah,
But,
that's what I was gonna say. Like he's Samoan. I was saying that in the start itself. He's
no,
Rock's
he's his
cousin.
first cousin.
What a legacy. I love his tattoos, bro. Like, he's a very cultured guy off screen,
all of
is
these
what I'm
guys,
trying to say.
The Rock also
And you
has
gotta
different
be that.
tattoos.
That's probably why Seth Rollins did not become who he is, even though initially the authority chose him.
Bro, Seth Rollins became the man, bro. What do you say?
No, I'm saying
Seth Rollins,
like
I've
the way
never
you were
seen
talking
anyone.
about Roman Reigns, right? Like being the chosen one for the organization, right? Like, I mean,
No,
even
but
though
see, that's the thing. They had to pull
Wait,
the rug
he was
out
the one who was
from
chosen from the
between.
Shield.
See, G, you're not getting the connection here. So
Okay.
just the way how Electric explained about The Rock, I'll tell you about John Cena. So basically, when he started, he used to be this diss rapper, and he used to get a lot of hate from the crowd, and he used to rap back at them. And every feud he had, be it Eddie Guerrero, be it Kurt Angle, Big Show, he was the bad guy, but he was still being booed because people wanted to see the bad guy do well. That's the kind of thing, and that's how his career took off. The thing they went wrong with Roman Reigns was, instead of Seth turning, if it was Roman the other way, things would have been way different for Roman. People wouldn't have booed him out of the building. People wouldn't have booed him when he won the titles. So here's what I'm talking about. Like, the whole booking with Rock and Cena, it came organically. Like, the bad rules suited them and made them better. The same could have been done for Roman, but they chose not to. They took 4 to 5 years to do
Because
that.
they wanted
And
him to be the blue chip guy, right? They wanted him
right,
to be the guy that kids support and
yeah, that's the
and get
because
behind whatnot.
because by the time the Shield broke up and everything was happening, WWE became very kid friendly in general. So they didn't want one of their biggest faces to be bad. Like, if you go back and check any wrestling storyline or any companies or whatever it is,
Right.
whenever a good guy turns bad, it's money. Hogan, Rock, Austin, Cena, anyone. Like, when you're top, like the biggest baby faces turn heel, no, it just attracts more people, and that's what they're doing with Roman now. Now they know that no one's gonna cheer for Roman in general, so we're gonna make him do things that they want. So now that's automatically changing. Like, people are cheering for him now because he's doing all the bad stuff, while he was being beaten to pulp by Brock Lesnar, handcuffed in a steel chair. As a good guy, people were enjoying it because
Right.
people were cheering Brock, not they weren't cheering Roman. But now it's different. Now when he's low blowing people, now when he's choking Jay and Jimmy out, people are cheering him because
Bro,
they want to
he
see
beat
this
up
side.
G.
He
I don't know if you've seen
murdered them. I don't think so.
I
It's
don't know if
beat
you
up. Like,
saw
Clash of Champions
the
was so
last
bad.
pay-per-view. Dude,
Mhm.
he beat the shit out of his brother, dude. Like, honestly, like it was
Yeah.
like so there was one match where he clearly beat the shit out of him. Okay, then there was another Hell in a Cell I Quit match that was like 2 3
Oh
weeks
my
back.
god. Yeah.
Bro,
So
he
good.
so
So good.
one dude was refused. So there's those two twins are there, na, the Usos. Okay, so one is
Yeah.
injured. Okay, one is Jay is the one where he
Jay
was
is the one
fighting.
who's
Okay,
wrestling. Yeah.
yeah. Bro, so he was killing him, but the guy has to say I quit in order for you to win. And if you knock him out, there's no point. Dude, the other Uso came to save his ass because he was like, dude, you're killing him. Stop, please. Dude, he's telling Roman and all.
Some
Bro, he choked the other
Electric
one
just
out.
don't. I was gonna say don't. Like let's just watch him. If he watches it, he'll know what we're
No,
talking about, and he'll enjoy.
it's okay. He can still watch it. It's a great fucking match. And the thing
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
him being
yeah.
a bad guy, it's just so refreshing, bro. You like it's money, bro. It's clear money.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the only reason they've been able to do this is because now Drew McIntyre has become that blue chip babyface that they need.
Right. Yeah.
Where people, even though he's a good guy, people are still behind him because he's a badass.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, Drew is doing well. I think Drew had a phenomenal year. I mean,
I
I
just
think
feel so
Drew and
bad for
Roman
him
had
that he beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania and there was no one in
nobody.
WrestleMania
Yeah, there was nobody. Yeah, and he
because
beat
of
Big Show
COVID.
right after that. I don't know what the booking was about, but
No, they were trying to do that Andre the Giant thing after that, na? They wanted that
bro,
whole
Big
moment.
Show, Big Show's not Andre. Like, it's been 30-35 years. Let's just stop making that comparison. Just because two people are tall, they're not the same.
They're
WWE
big,
logic
right?
is so bad. Yeah, but that's their logic.
But
Like,
that's the
Andre
thing.
was big, Big
They
Show's
only
big, it's
tread on
same.
nostalgia.
Their entire
But
company runs on it.
okay, chalo, apart from these guys, okay, apart from Roman and Drew, who we've already spoken about, who do you think over the last 10 years has had the best? I don't know, the best sort of storyline.
Best sort of storyline. I think
Like
the one.
the craziest. Just name one. Just one like really crazy storyline that it was just so badass that wow, like you know.
I think last year the Kofi one. It was unexpected. It came out of nowhere. It came
Kofi
within 4
Kingston
weeks.
being WWE champion.
Yeah, only till the point of the WrestleMania point. Like, it started with Elimination Chambers. Within 6 weeks, Kofi went from nothing to a hero and to a WWE champion. If you just go
Which is
watch
very
those 6 weeks.
strange actually, because I always thought it would be Biggie Langston that would actually be
Yeah,
the
and
breakout star of that.
so if you don't remember this, basically Brian was the champion and he was heading inside Elimination Chamber. He was supposed to defend his belt championship. Last minute, Mustafa Ali got injured, so they had no replacement. So they just said, "Oh, Kofi, you go do it." and Kofi like eliminated 5 people and lost, and people went crazy because this is what the organic way, wrestlers are built up. And this happened accidentally, but I think it was very good for Kofi's career in general. I mean, not that he needed it, but then it took his career to another direction. He, like, just from being some guy from New Day and winning championships, he became world champion in 6 weeks. I mean, when was the last time you
You
saw
think they
anyone doing
wouldn't
that?
have figured it out by now, like how to make a superstar,
Yeah,
considering it's
see, that's the
happened
thing. Like,
organically with so many people.
see, when they try things their way, it never works. It's only when they accidentally stumble upon things it starts
But
working.
how is it that you and me can see this and they can't?
See,
Like
I
it's
think,
just it's shocking.
see, because I think we're the third perspective. Like, we look at it from an outside view. We think as an audience, we
As
think
the
as New
fans,
fans, we like it. Yeah, as the fans.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
a
They
yeah.
different
think it's their
stakeholder.
job to do it. Yeah, they think it's our job to, give something out. Be it good or bad, doesn't matter. Like, we have to do this every week in and week out.
Mhm.
We can't think on a longer process. So when they do things like this, like let's say Charlotte versus Ronda 2 years ago, it was supposed to be a WrestleMania main event, but it happened on the Survivor Series night, and the match was fantastic. So these are the things, like
But
these
that's because
mishaps
that
by
Becky Lynch
WWE is
got
much
injured,
better.
no?
Yeah, and it made Becky a bigger star after that. Like,
Actually,
if
yeah,
her
yeah, yeah.
nose,
The Becky
if
Lynch
she
thing
had,
also was crazy. Was
right, like
crazy. I
all of
actually,
these were
I felt
accidents. Like, they were never planned. WWE actually,
I
okay, I'll give you the biggest example, and you'll agree to this. 2005 Royal Rumble, Cena, Batista both went over the top rope.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Now
yeah,
you
yeah,
think you
yeah.
would have remembered this Royal Rumble if Batista just clearly won? No, it made it special because they both fucked up. And Vince came
Because
down.
it
He
was
told both
such
the
a. I
squads.
remember he tore his quadricep also, no,
Yeah,
on
he
the way
came. And
down.
he was just sitting. He was sitting in the ring like
It
a
was like
baby, and he
what
was
was
like, "Restart the
happening,
match."
what was happening. I don't know if you remember, but 2005 Royal Rumble, what happened was
Right.
last two people, okay, in the Royal Rumble, Batista and John Cena. Both of them,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
SmackDown's biggest person, Raw's biggest person,
Biggest,
okay.
yeah.
yeah.
Both of them are definitely going to WrestleMania. It's whoever's winning this is going, okay. Now the thing is, Batista was supposed to win, but
Hmm.
he threw John Cena out that like in such a way that John Cena carried him also out, and both their feet touching the
No, no,
ground
no,
at
no,
the
no, no,
exact
no, no,
same
no,
time.
no, 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 no. Actually, what happened? Batista was supposed to do the Batista bomb and push him outside. But when he did that, like, Cena was so heavy and he was next to the rope, so he slipped and he took Cena with him, and they both fell at the same time.
Right.
And that
And
was the
neither one.
biggest thing, like, because they had no idea that this was gonna happen, and everyone was in shock. And this made
Everyone,
that
you should see
rumble.
the referees just like looking at each other, like, what do we do now?
What do we do now? Yeah, what do we
Yeah,
declare the
They're
result?
like, who wins? Who wins? And then one referee is raising this guy's hand, the other one's
the
raising
others,
that guy's
yeah.
hand, and the crowd is like, yay, boo, yay,
No,
boo.
the
I
crowd was
remember, I
cheering for
remember
both
this,
these
bro.
guys.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
no,
This
no, no.
was
yeah.
like,
See, the crowd was cheering for both of them because both of them are damn hot at that point of
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
But the
yeah,
thing
yeah,
is,
yeah.
whoever
Even
was
I
a
used to
Cena
be a
fan
big
was cheering
Batista
for
fan,
Cena,
man. I
whoever
loved
was a
him. Yeah.
Batista fan was
yeah.
cheering for Batista. That was one of those organic moments that, like you were, even I was like involved in. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Because I wanted Cena to win, to be very honest. But he
Yeah,
still went to
when I
WrestleMania.
saw it
I'm
the
not.
when I saw it the first time, even I was like,
So
Cena should
where
have
do you
won.
guys? I've got this question though. So before we come to like the matchups for the Survivor
Survivor
Series,
Series.
right? What
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying is that where do you guys rate the Undertaker storyline? Like in the all-time great storylines, as you asked, Electric.
As the streak, you mean the streak in general, or just like his
Man, the
I think
overall,
he's saying
streak, like
every
the streak
storyline,
is the
like
streak.
whatever.
Like Sky
like his
Sports
whole. So you mean his
compared it to
character? You
like
mean his
Floyd
character
Mayweather's
as a
history.
whole?
What?
No, no. Oh, arguably, he has to go down as one of the greatest characters.
Right.
Yeah,
Caricatures in wrestling of all time
In
because
all
there's
of
no
pop
one.
culture, man. For my view,
All of yeah. Who
in all
doesn't
of
know the
pop culture.
Undertaker, dude?
yeah.
Like
Everyone knows
trust
Undertaker.
me, like it's sad that it's sad that he's retiring now, but like had I been a bit older and had a family and had like a child, I'd probably fucking be telling that same child that this dude, like obviously now he's like a shriveled old man,
Right.
but like like
Yeah,
10 years ago, if you would have fucking seen him, dude, like
yeah.
fucking the whole thing about his style was that he is so big. He's 6'10", okay, and
Mm.
his style was really slow, methodical, and then he just like burst. He'll just jump out of nowhere, like
Yeah.
he's fucking doing a lariat out of there. He's on the top rope. He's jumping on you and shit. It was
Right.
crazy, dude. It was crazy. So I feel like him. It was definitely the character as well, but him as a person and as a wrestler, to be able to do that, and also to be that respectful to the business, that despite people knowing that it's fake, despite people knowing that all this is fake and stuff, he never broke character. Even outside, he never gave one single interview till 2017. Like he if he was appearing at like an outside place, he was appearing as the Undertaker. He was never just Mark Calloway, which is his actual name.
Like, no matter what decade he was in, he always stuck to the Undertaker character. Like, be on a Jimmy Kimmel show or anywhere, even in movies, he was always the Undertaker. And I think he took his persona, like he's gonna take it to his grave. I feel like he's been doing that for decades now, and for someone to do that for so long consistently, doesn't matter what the performance was, but he always portrayed as the Undertaker. He, not for a second he dropped the thing. He could have, he has kids, he has wives, as he mentioned, the Electric said, but he had that respect and love for the business that he always carried with him. Like,
the only
injured,
time I think the first time I
vacation.
actually saw him break character was after he lost to Roman at WrestleMania.
Right.
Because,
That's
I thought
when
that
the
was
whole
it,
thing
that was it.
started.
I thought
Yeah,
that
because
was
I think
it.
everyone thought he's gonna retire. He's not gonna return.
No, because he
from this
kept
point
his
going
his
forward.
coat, his hat, and everything. Dude, I
Yeah.
remember me and my friend. This was in university. Me and my friend who was a Bangladeshi. We were so pissed. We were so pissed after watching that match because we both love the Undertaker and we both
Right.
fucking hate
Even
him,
I
okay?
was very disappointed.
Dude, we
like,
literally just stood like after that our whole day we were just like holding our heads
Yeah.
like, why the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
Dude? I can't
I
believe
texted
that
you. I think
happened.
I texted you that day.
Yeah,
I
you
remember.
also. I also probably just called you to rant about it later because I
Yeah.
was just like, what the fuck? How? Why? And because that I thought that was the last time, because I remember he put this like his coat in the ring and he just like he
His hat, his
sailed off into
gloves.
the sunset. Yeah, and I was just like, no, man, you could come on. Losing to this tooth at the end couldn't have been the thing. I would
I
rather
mean, there
you
could
just
be
get
100
destroyed.
other ways you could have done this, but not like this.
Yeah, I was like, you should have beaten him and then gone, or
Yeah.
something like that.
What if it's just a random thought? What if tomorrow night on Survivor Series he actually beats some jobber up in a match and then leaves? It'll actually be nice, like Elias or some random jobber he's been facing over WrestleMania. Because I
No,
don't
to
think so
be
he
very
needs
honest,
another win, but
I'm
it
pretty
can happen.
satisfied with that Boneyard match.
Yeah, the Boneyard match, nothing
I
tops
was
it off. Like,
pretty satisfied with it, despite being as comical as it was. G, are you aware of the last match that the Undertaker
No, I
had?
don't. I don't know. I was gonna ask.
So it was like
Boneyard.
it was like a Boneyard match. It was in like a cemetery versus AJ Styles.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. It was like all like fucking like it was like a movie. It was like an
But
action
electric,
movie.
if they could do this with The Rock, like Rock came and he just pinned someone for 6 seconds. They can do the same thing for the Undertaker as well.
He did do that. He did that to John Cena like a couple of years ago at WrestleMania.
No, not John Cena. Like him and John Cena were facing Wyatt. Like they surrounded the ring, and Rock out of nowhere he just took all his clothes off. He has the
I know.
wrestling gear
He had his wrestling gear on.
Yeah. So if they could do for The Rock like a 6-second match, I think they can do the same for Undertaker. He could just choke slam and pin and walk off because it's a 30th
Nah,
anniversary.
man. I think it's done and dusted.
It's a 30th anniversary. You definitely need to show Undertaker doing something. Like there has to be some action. It's not just gonna be a speech. At least what I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
He'll cry, bro. He's gonna cry. He's a weeper, bro.
He's gonna cry, bro.
He's gonna shed some tears.
Probably,
He's gonna make all of us. He's gonna make all of us cry also.
Yeah, it's gonna be really sad.
I will definitely.
Yeah. Okay, listen.
Yeah,
so
but,
matchups, man, for the Survivor Series. What are the matchups?
Wait. Listen. So I asked this guy. I asked Vic what his favorite storyline was. Do you have a favorite storyline from like the last 10 years?
Undertaker, bro.
Any particular one that you remember?
Undertaker.
It's gonna be much further than that.
Vic, I already asked you. You already told me Kofi was your favorite.
No, you said Undertaker one. I thought that was different.
No. I'm not Undertaker one. I meant what I asked you before.
Right.
Your favorite storyline over the last 10 years. Yeah.
So another one would be the Daniel Bryan one. The whole
Daniel Bryan one. Another organic one, right?
Yeah.
Mine. If you ask me, mine would be the AJ Styles one versus John Cena.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
That was, dude. That it was at SummerSlam, I believe. Just that image of him like bloodied standing over on the Titantron with that thing that he took from John Cena, that never give up ka thing, and he
Right,
took it and
the
he wore it.
armband, right?
Yeah, the armband, he took it and he wore it, and he was just like he did that thing with his hands where it shows phenomenal one. And dude, I shit you not, I have a photo of that as well on my phone. I literally took that when I saw it. Dude, that was, I think, the culmination of one of our childhood heroes as well. Because you remember how much TNA we used to watch back in
Yeah,
the
we
day.
used to watch a lot of TNA. Like,
Dude,
we
that
were, like,
was
high on it.
my proper dude. I don't think we ever thought that we would actually watch that. You know,
Do you realize
this,
like the entire TNA roster from 2010, all of them were in WWE in 2016. Everyone, every
but
single
then
one of
again,
them.
not all of them did great things. Na? Like for
For
example,
a certain time they did.
Samoa Joe had a good run. Okay, now I think
Bro,
he's
he keeps
injured in
getting
these regional
injured. He's
commentary.
again injured.
He's
Yeah.
old now, but he's also
But
past
yeah,
it
he's
now.
he's
Like,
Randy Orton level. Yeah, I think he and Orton are the same age.
he
I
can
think.
do some great things, but the thing is, he should have been world champion at least once.
See,
But
I
bro,
personally think if Samoa Joe returns, he needs to go for the world title. He needs to win one world title and then he
he
can
needs to
retire.
win at least one, bro.
At
I
least
think
one.
he can be a very good transitional
Like
champion.
G-Light, you should watch Samoa Joe in his early days. Like you will say fuck Roman Reigns, you will really enjoy Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe used to murder.
Dude, trust me.
Every
We
match,
became wrestling fans while watching TNA. Like, so in the early 2000s, like in 2010, I think,
Yeah,
was the
10.
when me, Wick, and another one of our friends we stopped watching WWE because we got so bored of it. Like, you know, it was just like repetitive, same shit is happening.
It was like
John Cena.
yeah, Cena Orton world title. Like there were like 4 championship changes in 4 months. It was so
Like,
bad.
we used to watch it, but then again, there was this other thing called TNA, Total Non-Stop Action. Okay, which was it was the new up and coming. It was always there, but they were really creating some vibrations in the wrestling landscape. So we started watching. Bro, what crazy! Vic, what was that match? The triple threat, the AJ versus Joe
AJ
versus
Daniels versus Joe, Christopher Daniels.
yes. Yeah, the triple threat. Wow, what
there was one at
fucking
Unbreakable
match.
and there was another one at Sacrifice, I think. I'm not sure.
Bro, trust me, anyone who loves wrestling should go back and watch those matches, like right now. Any AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe match, definitely. Any Christopher Daniels versus AJ Styles match, any permutation, combination
AJ
of all
versus
those.
Styles, yeah, all 3 guys.
Dude,
yeah.
what fuck? And so anyway, what I was telling you about that storyline where he pinned Cena clean at SummerSlam, dude, that was proper culmination. Because I honestly, when I saw AJ Styles at Royal Rumble debuting for WWE,
Yeah,
I was like, bro, they're going to ruin him.
it's the
They're going to
loudest
fuck him up.
cheer I've ever heard at a Rumble. I mean,
No, but that is okay. See,
first
that
is
always
Edge
there.
now, but still, like that was the best one I heard.
Edge was tears, bro. Edge was tears
Yeah,
when I
Edge
saw
was
it. Bro.
tears.
Like, I was like, man,
I couldn't believe he came back
This
so
podcast
jacked.
is making me sound like a crybaby. But yeah, man, I'm very emotional when it comes to all these wrestling fucking figures and all.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I was saying was when he debuted for WWE, I was like, bro, they're gonna job him out.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna get beaten. He's gonna get pinned clean. I remember, and the thing is, I think his first WrestleMania match was against Chris Jericho, right?
Jericho, yeah. He should have won.
Yeah.
I am still kind of sour about it.
The
he should have
fact
won.
that he lost, I was like, I can see where this is going. No, I'm like, yeah.
But see, that was again the whole Vince McMahon saying like, let's put some surprise because AJ winning was very common, so obvious choice. So they're like, let's make Jericho win. But the thing was, Jericho didn't need the win. Like AJ needed
I don't
it.
think I don't think they were very sold on him up until that point. But
Yeah,
then
they weren't.
I think they realized, because see, the thing is, to do it in one company is one thing. Like in TNA, he was the man, okay. And what WWE has the record of doing is, whoever was the man in TNA, they generally don't give them much gas. You know, they just like whatever.
They simmer them down to another level. Like they want them
to max to
accept
intercontinental
WWE
champion की औकात है तेरी, ऐसे हो जाता है. You know, you're not going to be world champion. With him, when it came, now, dude, for the fact that he has done it in Japan, he has done it in WWE, he's done it in Ring of Honor. I mean, he's done it in TNA, and then he comes to WWE later.
Yeah.
And to fucking be the man over here also was, dude, I was like, I've never fucking imagined any of this shit. Like, it was insane. Like, and the thing is, he beat John Cena first also in like the previous pay-per-view, but he cheated and he won.
Yeah, he cheated.
But then at SummerSlam, bro, he beat him clean as a whistle, bro. Clean
the match was
good.
good.
Like,
The match was really good.
Dude, I was just like, wow, dude. Like, I fucking love that moment. I think that was my hands down.
This is like a little statistical fact, but AJ in WWE, 70% of AJ's time in WWE, he has held one championship at least. He's
Because
never been without a title.
they realize, no, they realize he's the thing is he's very American also. He's very like he's from Georgia and
He's
stuff.
Southern, right? Like Southern.
Yeah,
American.
he appeals to the American people as well, right? So they get behind him. But and the thing is, he doesn't mind doing, because even when he was the champion, now, bro, remember he was having those one-on-one matches with Ellsworth.
Yeah, SmackDown Live. It was
At
called
the
Live.
time, I was unsure about, because I was like, damn fuck all. But they were hilarious, bro. They were hilarious. Like,
It had a really
like
good comedy element.
yeah. And the fact that as a WWE champion, he was still killing it even in that comedy role, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it was too good, dude. It was too fucking good. And who beat him finally? I think it was Daniel Bryan that beat him.
No, it was Cena. Royal Rumble 17.
Oh, yeah. Cena beat him, and then he lost at the Chamber, and then Chamber Bray Wyatt won, and then Bray Wyatt lost to Randy Orton.
Then
Randy
came
Orton
the
lost to
god of
Jinder.
all WWE
Jinder
Championship.
Mahal, bro. Dude,
Mahal was so good.
G-Light, are you aware that we've had an Indian world champion in the last 2 years? 2 or 3 years?
3.
I think G-Light has gone for his bathroom break. Ali bathroom break. Anyway, we'll keep talking. So,
Yeah.
dude, what was your opinion on Mr. Mahal?
See, by the time he lost the championship, I felt bad because he was becoming interesting. He was a really good world champion.
I really
I don't
enjoyed
care.
that AJ Styles match.
I
I'm
don't
not gonna
care
lie.
who.
I
Dude, his
was
match
very
with
into that
AJ
match.
Styles. Okay, he had 2 matches with AJ Styles. One was on a SmackDown in somewhere in England. Okay, he had one match
Manchester.
with AJ. Yeah, Manchester. And the another one was at Clash of Champions 2017. Both the matches were so good. Jinder Mahal was like he was at its best, you know, like you couldn't have asked for a better world champion. But this was a different issue altogether. So this actually has a deeper cause. Jinder winning the world title was not just because Jinder was very talented or anything. Like the thing was, they were trying to tap into the Indian market at that time because they were getting these expensive deals from Sony. Okay, they wanted to give us live shows and live content and other things like that. So to do that, they wanted to make sure the Indians watch it. Now, how will the Indians watch it? Simple. If an Indian is on their screen, that's the whole reason Jinder got the big push. Like he got this monstrous push because they wanted to promote to the Indian, like they wanted to promote him to the Indian market, saying that we also promote you guys and you should watch our product because we have one of your guys as our world champion, like a major championship. Jinder Mahal is the 50th world champion, like WWE's history. He's the 50th. That's a big milestone. On top of that, he's Indian, and we had Great Khali.
But do you remember they did a very weird segment with what do you call it? The national anthem.
They had a segment where they had a very crowning him as a champion.
Yeah, they had a very cringy segment.
Bro, they did that even with Great Khali when he won the world title.
No.
Batista came and ruined it.
So you remember how it happens in like the Rocky movies and whatnot. It's more along the lines of, you know, like see, generally like when it comes to Americans, the Russians are, I mean, like, because communism and everything, so they boo. You know, it's like a Russian, like for example, when Rusev comes in on the tank, automatically Americans are like boo. But when it was very, very strange, because, you know, as an Indian person, I've never really, you know, like Americans don't really have I mean, unless they're racist, Americans don't really have a very, they don't really have much of an opinion other than, you know, we come and steal their jobs, it's a different thing. But they don't really have such a heavy opinion. They hear a Indian national anthem, they won't be like boo and all. But when it came to that, they were making the whole presentation as if he is the bad foreigner and all that stuff. Which as an Indian, when you're trying to appeal to our market, why the fuck should I
want? It makes it look bad, right?
I mean, are you? Because I remember they can be very tasteless at times. They can, you know, they are very like, for example, that you remember back in the day that Muhammad Hassan and whatnot had happened.
Oh, like, that was okay. That's pretty.
Basically, they called him a terrorist.
Because okay, see, there was the problem of presenting him because he hired a couple of guys in a military attire wearing black mask and stuff. Like, come on, like. You know what
Yeah, I
happened.
mean,
I'm not gonna say the whole
yeah,
story.
I mean, we don't even need to tread on that. But then again, the
Right.
WWE does have a tendency to get very, very tasteless, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that they really need to, fix, and especially when they were trying to appeal to the market. G
Right.
Light.
See, that's the thing. WWE has the biggest problem with
Yeah.
presenting things and having those proper bookings.
Hmm.
Because if they can gap this, and this was very well back then in the days when we had Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression, like those
Yeah.
things, we had it very well done. Like nowadays, these writers don't know what they're going for. Like, they just write what comes to their
But then
mind. They
again,
don't
it's
really
I
look
feel
at it.
like it's the Tarak Mehta ka Ulta Chashma syndrome, because when you have
Yeah,
so
it
many
is. It is.
episodes
It
and you
is.
don't stop writing,
Exactly. Yeah.
you'll
100%.
what more do you have? You'll just make up shit, whatever sticks, you'll just
Right.
put it, and then there's no
See,
quality. There's quantity over quality approach, clearly, right?
so back then when Attitude Era was going on, they didn't have writers. Let's get that straight. Writers weren't a thing until 2000, when they were shifting to the WWE part from WWF, right?
Yeah.
So the reason they got writers was because there was a lot of competition on TV, and Vince wanted to keep the competition alive with his product as well. So the writers were put in place for wrestlers to come up with storylines, so that the wrestlers don't have to waste excess amount of hours on creating their own storylines and the written lines and promos. That was the whole point of writers. The writers were supposed to be a backup, not this front center things, right? Later on, it transitioned because you started getting new guys in who couldn't cut a promo, who couldn't wrestle. So now what to do? So now they were relying on those writers, and slowly the whole writers, like the whole group of writers, they became the major head. Like now, writers were the one ordering the wrestler, not the other way around. Back then, it used to be like, I don't have time to do this, you do this.
But then
Now it's
again, I
like,
think that's
you're
a
going to do what I'm going to say.
that's a problem with when it goes on for that long. I mean, you've clearly done
it does.
everything. Everything, there's going to be like a strong similarity to something that you've done in the past, because I mean, there's only so many ideas you can come up with. But I just need G Light chime in here. G Light, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Tell me.
So, bro, tell us your favorite storyline over the last couple of years, if you have any. Maybe it could be last 10, last 15, whatever you remember. Just any particular storyline that really you held close to your heart.
The Undertaker, man.
No, I mean any particular match rivalry, any not wrestler wise. I'm more of storyline. Like for example,
he's basically asking the one storyline you remember, even all
like that one matchup that was like, oh fuck, this build up was nuts.
Yeah.
This build up. Bro, you remember The Rock versus John Cena?
Oh, the once in a lifetime.
The first one or the second one?
No,
we had two matches.
John Cena won and Rock.
It was called Once in a Lifetime, and it happened twice in 2 years.
Thrice if you count the whole WrestleMania other one where Rock and Cena teamed up.
I mean,
they're like
let's not count that one. Come on, let's be nice. But okay. So you're talking about the first one or the second one where Rock was the champion?
No, so I'm saying the second one where Rock shook his hand in the end and everybody was cheering.
The second one.
Yeah, that was basically him giving the icon status.
I should have done that years ago, but
he was busy.
I mean, by that time, Cena was also done. So what torch was he actually passing to him?
Yeah, that's true.
Roman Reigns should have just come and speared both of them. He'd be like, my art.
He wasn't there. Roman wasn't there then, I think.
Oh,
but that was like Icon versus Icon.
That was like Icon versus
Icon. Bro, Icon versus Icon is another match, bro. It's Hogan versus Rock. That was another level, bro. Another level. And the crowd was so
Shawn
wild.
versus Taker. I think it was in Canada, right?
Shawn versus Taker?
No. Hogan versus Rock. That was in Canada, right?
I'm not sure. Bro. You're the encyclopedia.
Yeah, it was in 19, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Another
that build up, like I waited, and I remembered, and I'll always remember it. Like, I think it was a few years back, I think now it's been 7-8 years, I guess.
Yeah, it's been a while. Time really flies when on a
11 years actually.
So much changes, like on a monthly basis, there's new matches, there's new champions, whatnot. It's a highly dynamic field and an industry that's crazy.
Matchups, man.
Yeah. Another thing we have to discuss. The Survivor Series matchups. Vic, can you quickly
Yeah.
tell us about the matchups that are coming, and we'll let's discuss them.
Um,
Boys.
so I think the first match would be the women's Raw team versus women's SmackDown team.
Who
Do
all
you
is
want me
that?
to name all those guys?
Yeah,
Oh,
if you could.
So the women's Raw team has the tag team champions, Peyton Royce, Lacey Evans, and the table smasher Lana, because every week she gets
What
to
is
go
up with
through
her?
one
She
for
just
some
gets
reason.
beaten up every week. She's just like a decoy.
It's been 9 weeks she's going through her announce table. 9 weeks. I don't know why.
Any bets that she might go through a table this Sunday as well?
So there's a theory that's circulating around which basically says that Lana's going to be the sole survivor of Team Raw, and here's how. So Jax is going to put her through. Jax is going to put her through a table, and the entire match will happen, and
they'll just forget about her.
Will be left. Yeah, and they'll forget her. It's a very WWE thing. They'll forget about her, and she'll do a roll up, and tada, Team Raw. So the next match is Intercontinental Champion.
Wait, you didn't name Team SmackDown, but okay, chalo, we'll go with Lana. Lana's winning. Lana's
winning.
MVP,
so I don't think
MVP.
so.
Okay, G-Light also agrees unanimously.
Yeah. So we have United States Champion Bobby Lashley versus Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn.
Bobby all the way, bro.
Bobby's gonna crush him, bro. Like Bobby, Hurt Business.
Just because his name is Bobby, he will have to win.
Yeah. And Hurt Business is the best thing there is. Like
one of the better factions in the recent.
Better, yeah. Way so.
What do you think, G-Light, Bobby Lashley or Sami Zayn?
Bobby, bro. Bobby.
ठीक है. Next one.
Bobby, man. Bobby.
I have a feeling Sami might cheat, but I don't think so. Like not against Bobby Lashley. Like, you can't do that. Like the guy has 3 sisters and 2 wives in WWE. You can't beat Bobby Lashley.
Khandan, dude, Khandan.
Yeah. So the next match is, this might be money match. Raw Tag Team Champions, The New Day versus the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits. My money is on Profits. My money is on Profits.
Okay, what did we say? Abhi previously Raw is going to win and Bobby is also Raw, no? Hello?
Bobby's from Raw.
Bobby's from Raw. So we said Raw and Raw, no? We'll go with
So we got 2 for Raw, and this one I think.
Profits, no? Profits are SmackDown.
Profits are going, yeah. Dude, they're the only tag team this year. They're the only legit tag team who are winning. The rest all have broken up.
But the rest are not even tag teams, man. The rest are just theirs.
No, whatever they had before, like Messiah and Rollins, that was a tag team that broke up. Then we had a couple of more tag teams. Andrade and Angel Garza, they were a tag team that also got broken up. And they don't really have.
I really like Garza and I really like Garza and Andrade. I think that was a good thing that they are going.
But they went nowhere with it. They just dropped the ball like out of nowhere.
Continuity is always an issue with WWE. But okay, we'll go with
Profits. For me, it's
profits. Even I think profits. G-Light, do you have any other opinions to give on this?
No, not really.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
G-Light's a very nostalgic fan. He's not very aware of what is currently there.
I've not been watching WWE in the last year, man. Like, but I'll watch this.
It's okay. That's what we're there for.
Next podcast.
It's, to be honest, there's not much to watch every week. You can just wrap it up in half an hour.
No, I literally
if you're just gonna watch the
on
highlights.
A weekly basis, and he gives me the scoop.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway, next one. What else is there?
Men's Survivor Series team match. So Team SmackDown has Seth Rollins, Baron Corbin, and Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, and for some fucking reason we have Otis on team. Why? Like,
Otis for the win.
Decision of keeping Otis.
Are they gonna make him the sole survivor?
The same guy. I hope not. They already did a lot of bullshit with him this year. G-Light, this is the guy who was holding the Money in the Bank contract. Miz took the contract from him.
Before Miz, Miz.
So when you punch him, he's like a Kung Fu Panda, right? He bounces.
Literally, not to say that
I'm not
there's
joking,
anything wrong with that, but
he actually did that.
He really, he doesn't feel anything, dude.
And Team Raw has the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Oh, bro.
Braun Strowman, Sheamus, Riddle, because they removed the name Matt for some reason, and Keith Lee. with a bad music and a bad attire.
Yeah,
Oh,
what
they
is
fuck
up with
Keith
his
Lee so
attire, man?
bad.
Why is he wearing
They
a
fucked him
why
up
does he
so
wear a
bad.
ganji
What
now?
did they do with him?
Why does he wear
Dude,
a
I think Vince
ganji?
Vince doesn't like tubby people. I think like he's like,
Otis
no,
doesn't
you
have a
can't
shirt
show.
on.
Yeah, but Otis is funny tubby. Keith Lee is like serious tubby, so you can't.
So they're
Like
like,
serious
इसको
people can't
seriously
be
लेना है तो
tubby.
गंजी पहनाना पड़ेगा.
Yeah, like that's a again bad booking and creative choices by WWE. So I have a feeling Team Raw can win, but the thing is, Team Raw has been losing constantly the past 2 weeks.
But doesn't that,
Do you guys
according to
know?
WWE logic, they should win, no?
Yeah, but do you guys know Retribution?
Hi, Jobber Squad.
No.
Yeah, the entire Team Raw lost to Retribution last week. Entire Team Raw.
But was
So
it
I
because
really
of was it because they were not a cohesive unit or anything?
Yeah, that bullshit. They were fighting against each other.
Last little bit I saw was because they weren't getting along. AJ was like, "I'm your leader." Who's the big African American guy who's behind AJ all the time?
Okay, I am not so fluent with his name,
But
but he's also a
is he
wrestler.
also involved in the match?
No, he's AJ's bodyguard because AJ needs
Does he
it
do
for some
anything
reason.
like apart from just just
He
look
stares at
strong?
people. People get scared. That's what
I'll
I've
go.
seen him doing on Raw.
He'll stare them to victory.
Yeah, he did
I'll
that.
go.
There was one match where he did that.
I'll go with my boy AJ always.
Right.
G-Light, what do you think? SmackDown or Raw? Who's taking the men's Survivor Series?
Raw, man, Raw.
Raw. AJ it is. What
Right.
about you?
I'm going for SmackDown. I think SmackDown has the upper hand.
So
overall.
you're
Like,
saying
they
it's
don't have so
2-2
many.
and we are saying it's 3-1 after this match. Okay.
Yeah.
3-1 in favor of Raw, that is.
Yeah, yours is wrong.
Yeah, okay. Next match.
Next match is this one. Roman versus Drew. Dude, it's clearly no. I'm so sorry. It's gonna be the Raw Women's Champion Asuka versus SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks. My money's on Banks. My money's on Banks.
Sasha Banks is fuck all.
Oh yeah, it is. But I'm pretty sure SmackDown
when
is gonna take.
she's good normally. But when she has that title, there's some curse. She becomes like a weakling.
No,
she gets beaten up.
That's broken. Electric, that's broken. They fixed that. They fixed that now.
Didn't okay.
They fixed it. She had a title defense. She won. There was no fuck ups this time.
They always hot potato her title. So I mean.
Yeah, this time they didn't do it. They fixed it.
But she's SmackDown, no? You're saying?
Yeah, SmackDown.
Okay, I will have to because I've given 3-1 to Raw, so I have to give 1 to SmackDown. But not because I like Sasha Banks. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, okay, noted.
On the record.
Noted.
Yeah. G-Light, do you have anything to add to it?
No, not really.
Okay, cool. You just chime in whenever you feel like, yeah? Okay, what about you, Vic? What do you say? You're saying Asuka. No, you're saying Sasha.
Banks.
So we're both saying Banks, technically. Okay, next one.
So the main event is going to be Roman versus Drew. That's pretty obvious. Okay, and the tribal chief.
This is a very weird match to call, I feel.
Dude, this is the epitome of a 50-50. Like, this is proper 50-50, okay? Anything can go in this. And I think it's going to be Roman.
I'll make a pitch. But how is it going to be Roman? He's going to pin Drew clean or what?
I don't think so clean, but it's going to be Roman. Bro, Roman has like 100 tricks up his sleeve. The only thing Drew does now is like he fights with his courage. It has to be Roman.
I'll make a so it's not a title versus title, no? It's just champion.
No, it's not a title. No, yeah.
It's not for the title, no? I'll make a
crazy pitch. Punch him 3 times, man.
Listen to this crazy pitch, yeah? Miz is not involved in any of the.
No, he's not in any of the matches.
Okay. Hear me out. Miz is going to during the match cash in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
While both of Drew and Roman have beaten the shit out of each other. Okay, he's going to cash in and make it a triple threat. Okay. Now, when he cashes that in, both the titles are technically on the line in that match.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, let's say Drew and Roman are beating the shit out of each other. Neither of them can win either of them. Okay. Yeah. Now, Miz comes in. Okay. Now, both the titles are suddenly on the line. Winner takes all over. Okay. Now, both Drew and Roman beat this one up. Now, then at the end, because technically triple threat becomes no disqualification as well, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, then Roman will do some shenanigans and pin the Miz, take both titles and fuck off.
No, bro. They won't put 2 titles on Roman. See, the thing is, it's a
Arey,
lot of pressure then.
this is your WrestleMania match, bro. Redemption.
But for 2 championships, dude, Roman already has pitches for WrestleMania. I don't think so they're gonna give him WWE Championship.
See, it's an
It's a good
interesting,
pitch,
it's
but
an
it's
interesting
an interesting
dynamic.
pitch, right? See,
That
I'll
way,
give you another
Drew
scenario.
doesn't lose. Drew doesn't lose
See,
technically. Miz gets
I'll give
to.
you I'll give you 2 scenarios. Okay, one is Roman winning, the other is Drew winning. So basically, Drew will win clean, but Roman will beat the shit out of him, and Miz will cash in. 2, Roman will cheat and win, and he'll still beat the shit out of Drew, and Miz will cash in. This scenario involves Miz.
Okay, see,
But
one.
apart
Do
from
you
that,
know what is gonna happen? Okay, what is gonna happen after this, Chuck? You tell me this. What is lined up for Drew after this? Who do you think he's gonna feud with?
Sheamus. You have Sheamus, you have Braun, you have Riddle, you have
No, but
Strowman.
is there any rumors out there, or you're just naming people on the roster?
So basically, they have a storyline planned for Sheamus versus Drew. Now, it's a slow burn one. So we don't know when it's going to happen. It can happen at Royal Rumble. It can eventually even happen at WrestleMania. We don't know. But Drew is going to be champion somewhere in the middle of this so that he faces Sheamus for the championship. Because they're good friends. They're old friends from Scotland, Ireland, and all that things going on right now. Eventually, Drew and Sheamus will go face to face. Now, this they keep it till WrestleMania or in between. I have no clue, but I have a feeling somewhere. See, the thing is, Drew is the hot product right now, right? So they want Drew to win championship in front of people, live audience. First championship, no one. Second championship, virtual. Third is eventually when fans will be entered. I feel then he will when like he's gonna drop the title somewhere in between and gonna reclaim it in front of the fans. And maybe after that is the one where Sheamus and him are gonna go head to head.
Okay, and what about Roman? Where does he go from here?
Yeah, I think he's not gonna drop the title until he retires. He's gonna be like the next Bruno Sammartino or something.
I can be down with that. But wasn't there a pitch for WrestleMania that Rock versus Roman? Hello?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Rock versus Roman.
Rock
wasn't
versus
that
Roman. It's still on. Like there's still talks about it, but see,
only
it
if
depends
crowd
upon
is
Rock's
available, no?
Yeah, if only his crowd is available and how how the Rock's contracts work currently because he's in between loads of movies. He cannot drop everything just for one match. So
no, because he has to
they
train for
have
that also.
to
Yeah?
yeah, and see there's a clause in movie industry, there's a clause basically you can't get injured while filming. And The Rock already got injured twice in 2 of his matches at WrestleMania with Cena. So they don't want to take that risk. Like the producers, basically, they put a lot of money in Rock. They invest. So they want to keep him protected as much.
I read a statistic somewhere that a wrestler who wrestles all like throughout the year is statistically less likely to get injured than a wrestler who wrestles once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest example you could say. So
yeah,
there's like a 10% chance that this match can actually happen. But on an average, I don't think so. Roman versus Rock is very ideal unless Rock starts training right after Survivor Series or there is some build at Royal Rumble, And even if they do a Rock versus Roman has to go over.
Okay, actually, you know what? We'll do another episode in the coming weeks, and we'll pitch ideas about where to go after Survivor Series. We'll do that. Let's not just give all of it in one
let's
episode.
Not get dragged away.
Yeah. We've got quite a long podcast right now. Okay. So, is there any final things that you guys want to add?
Concluding remarks, Electric.
Big
predictions.
We've already had predictions. I'm pretty down with Miz cashing in the final match and it becoming a title match.
Still believe in your pitch?
I believe in my pitch, dude. I believe because Mr. Wick hasn't given me conclusive evidence that either of them are going anywhere after that. But then again,
I do have it. But you said after Survivor Series.
Okay, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. We can next weekend. Yeah.
So my prediction basically says WWE is into a lot of nostalgic stuff, right? And if you might not know, but the Survivor Series date is exactly the same date when Miz actually cashed in his original Money in the Bank. So they might try to recreate that on Drew because Drew has already taken a couple of losses, be it Orton or other guys. So if Miz cashes in, he's not going to cash in against Roman. He's not that
But
dumb.
see, then again,
He's
losing to
definitely going to do
Orton
that.
is not a problem. Like, you know, like if you get pinned by Randy Orton, it's like he's like a what 13, 14 time world champion. So
Yeah.
it's not like I say you got pinned by some paplu, you know.
No. That's not my point. My
But
point
Miz,
is
if you get pinned by,
Drew
then
has
it's see.
already dropped it once. Like Drew has already dropped his title once. Have you
But
seen Roman take a
the
loss?
fact that they gave it back to him so quickly,
Because they didn't want to do a heel versus heel, because Roman versus Orton had like it had no same anticipation like Roman versus Drew. Like
to
one
be very
big face
honest,
versus
nobody
one big
wants to
heel.
see Randy Orton these days, man. People are done.
Exactly. That's why they
Tired of him
dropped
now.
the title back to Drew. So that's what my pitch is. Like my pitch is they're gonna rely on their nostalgic element. They're gonna make sure that Miz tries to cash his in. Whether he successfully gets it or he fails, I have no clue. But I think this might happen.
Man,
Most
Randy
likely.
Orton's also a crazy storyline, man. I fucking love the guy at one point of time.
G-Light is on another trip only, dude.
Man,
Yeah.
like,
no,
he's
I
like
mean,
somewhere
because we
else
brought
only.
the guy up right now, I'm sorry, but like it has to be addressed, like, you know. Like, recently, like, I mean, this is all I wanted to say, that there was an Indian village kid who RKO'd his teacher. Like, basically.
What?
That sounds
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Really?
that sounds like
Like, this
people in
was
our class, dude.
Yeah, we used to do
How
that a
much
like
lot.
we
in
used to.
a government school, he RKO'd his teacher. Like, he was a 10th grade kid. Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
So there
like
was
he
one
RKO'd his
teacher.
teacher.
There was one teacher in our school who took off one kid's pants. Who told one other student to take off one
What?
other kid's pants.
Wait,
Where?
how is that
Yeah,
related to WWE?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, this is
Let's end on that controversial opinion. Okay.
yeah.
No, but
Hey,
Randy
bye.
Orton has a crazy storyline too. I was just saying.
We'll talk about it in the next podcast. Okay.
All right, bro. All right.
All right. Wait. Say bye, guys.
All right. See you,
All right.
bro. Bye,
See you.
Electric. Bye,
Bye,
W.
G.